Hello everyone, Froe here for another vanilla-ish Let's Play episode. Thank you for joining me. We're on episode 39, which is getting kind of crazy. It means only 11 more until 50, which I never thought we would get to. Last episode, we managed to get a parrot who has a special ability to make mobs around them glow down into the middle of our mob farm there, so we can kind of see how our mob farm works from basically anywhere on the island, which is kind of neat. And we also built a statue in honor of another person, in honor of a commenter. So we built this statue here, and it's actually got our lodestone for the world. So that's like the center of our world then. And the commenter who we picked for this is, see if I can bring the name up there. It's Marcelesco. So again, thank you for leaving a comment. We're going to be doing that again in this episode as well. So if you leave a comment this episode, and one of the comments will randomly be picked. Ugh, can't talk right now. And we'll build another statue in your honor. We have 2 more statues to build to finish up like this little portion of the path. All right, so real quick before we move on to our main project for this episode, I wanted to show me just placing some grass around our world here. It's one of those little chores that I usually don't show on camera, but this is a Let's Play, so we need to make sure we show every little bit of the progress in our world, even the boring stuff. Yeah, so I usually just get like 1 or 2 shulker boxes full of grass and place it at a time. Takes about 15-20 minutes to do, so not a big deal. It's something that needs to be done, otherwise our island is going to keep looking this ugly purple color, which is no good. And here we are done. So we got from that hill to here kind of outlined, all filled up with grass, all the way to about where that tower is. So pretty good progress. So yeah, let's move on to our main project this episode then. So recently we've been working on the furnace field farm, which is what we're going to be calling this thing, by the way. I don't know if I've really said that yet in video, but this whole contraption and everything kind of in total that we've been working on is what we're going to call the furnace fuel farm, because its entire purpose is just farm fuel for our furnace array. Really creative name, I know. All right, so let's go through the main components of what we're going to call furnace fuel farm 1.0. So right off the bat, we're going to go way down to the bottom. We're just going to check out the farm itself. If I can kind of navigate my way through here. It's a little bit cluttered. So we got a grand total of, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we got 16 of these pods, and each pod is 8 blocks wide, or like long. And they allow the bamboo to grow 2 blocks tall. And when the one bamboo at the end grows just 1 block, then the whole row is going to be harvested. So basically we got 16 of these little grow chambers, and they're just super passive, and you can hear them activating every once in a while, and then you can see us picking up the bamboo, so it works pretty well. Some of the bamboo does get lost, but not a big deal. All of the bamboo gets fed into this giant buffer system we have, which is kind of unnecessary. And at the end of the buffer system is a shulker box. Now, when this shulker box gets completely filled up, it's going to automatically be broken and thrown up above. So let's demonstrate that really quickly here. So now, like, the shulker box is nearly almost full. What can we do to make it happen? So we're going to just throw items right in there, and that's going to feed in here and exactly fill up automatically. Boom, gets broken. And then it's sent up the elevator. And then once it's up here, it follows this dropper elevator and feeds into, oh man, it's so cluttered down here. Feeds into this hopper chain, which feeds into this dispenser. And so here we have a whole bunch of just full bamboo boxes. So this is the deep storage unit itself. And from there, 1 shulker box gets dispensed here. And this feeds directly into the furnace array overall. So 1 shulker box kind of feeds the whole furnace system. So when this shulker box is empty, it's going to automatically be destroyed, sent back down below to be filled up, and then a full one will be placed in its spot. So let's demonstrate that. Uh-oh. So that didn't work the way it was supposed to. Let's maybe try that again. Make them empty. Huh, why is that not working? I can hear it activating, it's just not being placed down. And also, it's not going in the hopper over there. That's kind of strange too. Let's try it one more time. Strange. Okay, so I guess that's not working now, even though it was just a little bit ago. That's kind of weird. But overall, that's how the farm is going to work. So let's talk about Furnace Fuel Farm 2.0 and some of the big changes we're going to make there. So first of all, we're going to replace the dropper elevator with just a simple water elevator. So we're going to tear out this whole mess of redstone and droppers and stuff and observers and just turn it into a simple water stream. I don't know why I didn't think of that originally. And then we're going to replace that item buffer we had on the bottom. This, like all these chests and stuff, there's literally no reason why we have them, because they feed directly into a shulker box, and there's always going to be like empty shulkers that we could feed, that we can place here. So we should not have, like, we don't have a need for a huge amount of buffer here. Kind of stumbling in my words a little bit. So then instead, what we can do is take that buffer and move it up to here, and it'll just be a buffer of fold shulker boxes. So instead of having 9 here, and then a bunch of hoppers, we're going to have a double chest and then the 9. So then that double chest will be just filled with shulker boxes, and that's going to be the deep storage unit itself. On top of that, we're going to add a way for the automatic farm behind us to feed directly into the furnace fuel system, and also add in a way to be able to retrieve shulker boxes from the farm as a whole. So say we wanted to bring like a bunch of fuel somewhere else in our world, I want to be able to just grab these really easily without having to come back like in the maintenance section of our base. So we got to figure out a way to do that. And then finally, we want to optimize and clean up this whole kind of area, because I just built this. It was kind of like, you know, you imagine like a duct taped, barely holding together, you know, filled with scraps and cremily built. That's basically what we have here. Now that we have a working design, we're going to optimize it and get it to work even better than when we started. So let's get started with that. We're going to just tear everything down. All right, and when I say everything, I mean we're going to like clean this house up. We're going to basically rebuild the whole farm from scratch. Now that we have a really solid understanding of how the mechanics are kind of work, and some of the, you know, things that take up the most space, we can kind of plan ahead a little bit more. We're also going to redo this whole segment of the base. So it's going to be a lot of tearing down and cleaning up overall. But I'm excited. Let's get started. So I've been talking about this a lot recently, and the best, or rather the easiest way to give me feedback on my videos is just to leave a like or a dislike. So I really appreciate that feedback, and thank you. Cool, so the current plan is to have a water stream come straight up from there that will meet over like in this spot, and that's where we're gonna have our shulker loader, and then we'll also have a way for the automatic farm to feed into there, and then from there it's gonna, like, the full shulker boxes are gonna come to here, and this will be a shulker unloader. So pretty simple system it looks like. We just have to kind of set everything up then. Oh yeah, it's been a while since I've checked in, so let's go ahead and just kind of showcase a little bit of what progress we've done. So let's start with the water elevator. If I can figure out how to get there from here. Kind of been like closing things up and tidying up around here. We'll just jump on down here. So right off the bat, we got, oh geez, got a water elevator right there. So the items get directly harvested here, and they get sent straight on up. The items fly on up to here in the water elevator, where they are splashing. You can kind of see them going over there. We have a hopper right there that feeds into this shulker box. So then this shulker box is being fed actually from both sides. It's going to be fed from the farm below, and then also this farm at the same time. So we have kind of like 2 systems feeding into this. So let's see, is it going to fill up a little bit? Yeah, there we go. Cool. So then so this is going to be our loader, our shulker box loader. And once that shulker box is full, it gets broken and sent up another water stream, which is not here. Come on. I'm on camera. I'm supposed to look professional. Okay. So then those full shulker boxes get sent up that water stream into this chest, which is going to be our shulker box buffer, into the dispenser, which will then empty them into the system. And I've kind of closed things up a little bit. But we got hoppers running underneath the shulker box that feeds directly into the furnaces. And then when that shulker box is empty, it's just going to, get destroyed and replaced with a full one. So it's basically the same system we had. In fact, a lot of the same redstone as well. I added in an extra little feature. So every single time we start, every time we start the farm up, so in this case, like right now it's got items in it because it's smelting. For example, say there's no items in there. As soon as I go to smelt an item, this redstone line turns on and that activates the dispenser. So if for some reason there's no shulker box there, but there's some in the system, then it'll kind of restart. So it's a self-restarting system. Next up I'm going to do is try to figure out a way to clean this area up because it's kind of a mess. I think I'm going to move that farm back a little bit, maybe. Just because like we got this is kind of in the way, like really in the way, and it's kind of ugly now. So we're going to be redoing like this whole part of the base. It's going to be a pretty big remodel. Oh, also I want to add indicator lights for the shulker box here, or like the shulker box loading system. So we can tell like how much fuel we have in our system. And then I also want easy access to this chest in general. So like I want some hidden way to access this chest because this is where our full shulker boxes are going to be. All right, so let's start clearing up like some of the base here. So we can remodel it. It's going to be a pretty big change. I don't really have any idea of how it's going to look. But basically all of this is going to be different. And maybe look better finally. Because I definitely did not like how it has been. In fact, I'm going to try to do some of this on camera with you guys too. So we're going to tear this down and then we'll get building together here. And a general rule that I've always kind of followed, but I've also been a little bit lazy at with this particular world is you're supposed to get all of your redstone done and working the way you want before you build like a room for it. And I haven't been doing that much with this world, to be honest. I usually actually have been building a building itself and then trying to figure out a way to get redstone to fit inside of it. And that causes me to build ugly rooms like this whole thing. So that's why we're being a little bit more intentional this time. So first thing I want to do is I want to mirror this over there. I think we should be able to make it fit in this spot pretty decently well, perhaps. I guess this could be a potential way for us to grab the items from here. We just have like a trapdoor like this? Or no, we'd want that to be... Oh, that's not gonna work. Like this. No. This is tough. Like this is what we want. Like that. So then we can open that and access it as needed. Cool, that actually looks really good too. Almost done finishing up this building. Something like this. And then what else? We put upside down, or just normal stairs, I guess, for the sandstone. That's how we get that texture. A normal spruce there, so it should just be as simple as this then. Right, and then the last thing we have to do is just put spruce. Okay. Yeah, look, that looks pretty good. Choking a little bit. And we can access that chest as needed. Let's try to find some arbor energy or something to give it. Maybe we do... one of our uniques. Where's our unique chest? Down here. Let's give him a Talos. That sounds kind of cool. That armor stand and some armor maybe. Maybe we give him like some dyed blue armor. Pointing. What do I have here? Blocking, it looks like. So this guy will be pointing. Yeah, I like that. That looks good. All right, so enough working on the Furnace Field Farm 2.0 for today. A little bit of a spoiler there. Okay, so I gotta be really honest with you guys. I have like probably like 2 weeks worth of footage kind of pre-recorded already of me building things and doing a lot of stuff. I just haven't had the time to put it together and make a video of it, or an episode that is. So there's a lot of things in my world that I currently know about and see, but you guys have no idea about. And that's one example. And that's a second one. But those are coming. I have them recorded. I just kind of have to slap them together in a video. With that said, I got a couple of comments I wanted to address. First of all, first one is by Marcelesco again. So he says, I like the look of the throne. That's awesome. I'm glad about that. I was a little nervous about how it turned out. It's a little bit bulky, but I think it looks good. So I agree there. Thank you so much for the statue. And this time I didn't even find anything to improve on. So again, good. And then you also said some of the bosses are really frightening, but you seem to be good enough to just put the better mobs in myself. So yeah, those boss mobs are a little bit scary. They've definitely caught me off guard more than once and taken me down. But thankfully, because we have an elytra now, I'm able to escape a little bit easier, which is nice. And the second comment we have is from Todd13 again. He says, the parrot deaths were so frustrating. Totally legitimate mistakes. And a little bit funny, especially the first one, I think. You should make a single small monument to the fallen parents. Maybe list their names on a plaque. I completely agree. I think that's what we're going to do. I don't know if we're going to do it this episode yet. I don't think so, at least, because we're kind of running out of time. But my idea is to make a little bit of a pillar. I was intentionally trying to walk towards it, but I walked past it just on accident. So I'd make like a little pillar, kind of like this thing, but maybe bigger and a little bit more grand. And by the way, if you haven't really noticed, so my build theme is, first of all, you got to use your imagination a little bit to really appreciate it. But it's inspired heavily by Roman and Greek architecture, kind of like this building in front of me and kind of that one back there too. But then also I got like this other build style on my base, and I kind of consider this more elven-y. But I don't know, I'm a little bit biased. I think the builds look okay. I think they actually look, pretty good. But I'm genuinely curious what you guys think. And one of these days I want to go through and like do a pretty big exhaustive tour of my base, so you guys can give me even more feedback in that regard. But for now, I'd appreciate any feedback you have just based on what we've talked about. Yeah, I'm beginning to ramble, so let's go ahead and choose a commenter to build a statue of for this episode. We have only 2 skulls for this time. Or 2 people, that is. So we got Dylan Barris and we got Minecraft Guy 75. So let's see who's going to get the statue this time around. And we'll pick the last one. Dylan Barris, you're the commenter we're going to build a statue of in your honor. So congratulations. I appreciate your comment, and let's get to building. All right. So in the interest of time, I kind of skipped building on camera, and I just want to show you guys the finished product. So this is the statue. I think it turned out pretty awesome. So the idea with the shield kind of being open like that is, I guess, I don't know. It doesn't really make too much sense because normally you'd want the shield in a defensive position, but I kind of think of it as like, I'm putting my guard down and letting you pass onto the road. Maybe, I don't know. I just wanted something different than that shield and the other one. So let me know what you think about that. I think it turned out pretty good. But the really cool thing that I'm proud of is the sword. Check this out. We got like some different wither skulls embedded inside, kind of like trophies that have been, or like, they've been slain by the sword or something. I don't know, kind of a cool idea. And the middle one has got your name in it, so you're forever immortalized in the world, which is kind of the goal with these. So yeah, I'm very excited about this last statue here. It means only one more to go. And it's going to be another throne one, so it's going to look kind of like that statue in some regard. If you guys have any suggestions, that'd be really helpful at this point, because I'm kind of running out of ideas. I do know that a lot of the statues follow a similar pattern. Like we have a lot of the spruce woods and the dark oaks and sandstone. I did that intentionally on this particular path. I don't know what we could call this path yet, like the king's statues or I don't know, something, but it'd be cool to name this little stretch of the base too. Anyways, Dylan's comment goes, "It's been a while since I've commented here, so I'm glad you're back. I really appreciate that. And you continue to love the content. I haven't seen your videos in a while, but I just got back into a realm with the RPG mod." So that's that RPG data pack that we're playing on that gives us all this awesome gear. I would love to know where some of your loot comes from, as I haven't seen a lot of it in game, and I don't see, for instance, your sword in the loot list. Now, I have replied to your comment particularly, but those of you who don't see the replies, I got this sword, which is the Kragsmesser of Dread from the Dread Knight. And I don't remember when I got the sword. It was a long time ago. And this is the only one I have, so really don't want to lose him. In fact, I actually think this is one of the better weapons in the game anyways, because not only does it have a high attack damage, and it's unbreakable, which is nice, it's also got a high attack speed. So check this out. Like you can swing, very, very quickly, which is good for people like me who often, miss and aren't very good at combat. And then it also gives you a little bit of armor when you equip it. So if you notice here, I got 9 little armor icons, and then I go to equip it, I got a 10th one. So it's a nice little bonus. But yeah, we're going to end the episode here. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a nice one, and stay safe, and bye-bye.